Can you imagine, my dear friend, that something as simple and inexpensive as a common vitamin, cheaper than a bag of dry lentils from your neighborhood store, might completely transform how you move and feel after 70? It might sound far-fetched at first, but let me tell you the story of Mr. Leonard, a 75-year-old retired postman from Wichita, Kansas. Leonard used to shuffle slowly along his porch each afternoon, back hunched, his knees aching with each step. Getting from his kitchen to the driveway felt like a challenge he hadn't trained for. His legs no longer felt like part of him, more like stubborn strangers attached to his body. But everything changed the day he visited his community clinic and was advised by the physician, Dr. Lee, to try something incredibly simple. Not a costly prescription, not a new therapy, but a basic vitamin supplement that's easy to find at any pharmacy. It wasn't a miracle pill, just a humble, everyday nutrient. Yet after just 3 weeks, Leonard called with a voice that felt 10 years younger. "I can climb the stairs again without needing to catch my breath," he said. "And I walk alongside my wife to the farmer's market, no more sitting down halfway." He's not preparing for a marathon, but here's what matters most. Leonard feels in control of his body again. The small things, getting up easily, walking beside his loved ones, feel possible again. So if his story speaks to something inside you, I'd love for you to leave the word hope in the comments below. Share this video with someone close in age, hit like and subscribe, and let's keep walking together with strength, with lightness, and with care. Have you ever stood at the kitchen counter ready to step outside, only to feel your legs give a slight shake? Not a fall, but just enough of a tremble to make you pause and rethink the next step. Your heart is willing, but your legs feel unsure, like they're hesitating before agreeing to move. That's exactly what Bonnie, a gentle 72-year-old retired librarian from Des Moines, once described to me. She used to cook big family meals every holiday without ever asking for help. But last winter, even walking from her bedroom to the porch began to exhaust her. 2 small steps outside left her breathless. She'd cling to the hallway wall, needing her husband or caregiver just to make it across the living room. When she finally visited the local health clinic, the physician ran a routine blood panel and found she was missing an essential vitamin, one most people overlook. Since then, each morning after sipping her warm lemon water, Bonnie has been faithfully taking a tiny tablet, one that costs less than a bottle of turmeric. And just 4 weeks later, she smiled and told me, "I went to the grocery store with my granddaughter and didn't need to rest even once. I feel like I've got my freedom back." That's what it's really about, not just movement, but independence. The strength in your legs isn't only about walking down the sidewalk. It's about being able to water the backyard garden, visit your grandkids, or climb 2 steps without wondering if someone should be standing behind you. It's about not feeling like a burden. So if you've felt your legs tiring more quickly than they used to, if walking feels heavier lately, or if the stairs you once climbed with ease now feel like a mountain, then maybe, just maybe, your body is whispering something to you. The good news, the answer might be far simpler than you think. You don't need to drive across the state or spend hundreds of dollars. Sometimes, real help is no more than a vitamin away, and I'll explain more about that in just a moment. Another common concern I hear from many older adults, from Nebraska to New York, is a nagging ache in the knees, hips, or ankles, especially when the day begins. That early morning stiffness that makes getting out of bed feel like cracking open a rusty hinge. Sound familiar? Perhaps you've even heard that quiet pop in your joints while climbing the stairs or bending to pick something up from the floor. It's so easy to dismiss as just aging, but it doesn't always have to be that way. The vitamin I'll be talking about today is not only known to support muscles, it's also recognized for its anti-inflammatory properties. In simpler terms, it helps calm the body's overactive immune response, the one responsible for swelling and soreness in your joints. It even plays a role in keeping calcium where it belongs, in your bones, instead of letting it build up where it shouldn't, like around your joints. That's the difference between aching knees and knees that move freely. I remember Mr. Gerald, an 80-year-old former firefighter from St. Paul, Minnesota. He used to call his grandson every morning just to help him rise from bed. "My knees feel like they're made of concrete," he once said. But once he began taking this vitamin daily, along with a few gentle stretches like rolling his ankles and flexing his knees in bed, within a month he chuckled and said, "Now I stand up like I'm 20 years younger." These aren't magic tricks. They're small, consistent efforts. Taking that vitamin daily, walking a bit in the backyard, doing easy breathing exercises after sunrise, these are gifts you give to yourself. And your body, surprisingly, remembers. It responds with more steadiness, more peace, and more strength. So if you're ready to reclaim that feeling of control, of confidence, of rising from your chair without a grimace, let's keep going. Because this story isn't over yet, and neither is yours. Have you ever risen slowly from your favorite armchair in the sunroom and felt your body lean sideways? Not from dizziness, not from fatigue, but simply because your legs didn't respond the way they used to. This is far more common than you might think, especially among those over the age of... I recall a gentleman named Walter from Charleston, South Carolina, who once shared this exact concern. He loved sitting beneath the old oak tree in his backyard. But each time he stood, his balance betrayed him. His legs trembled. His body leaned unsteady. He feared falling more than anything. The issue wasn't just weak muscles. It had more to do with the delicate conversation happening between his brain, nerves, and muscles. The vitamin we're discussing today doesn't just help your joints, it also supports that entire communication system. It keeps your nerves healthy and helps your brain send clear, timely instructions to your legs. But when this vitamin is missing, those messages slow down. Your brain tells your legs to stand, but the legs take a second too long to understand. And that tiny delay can lead to big problems. There's a medical term for this, loss of proprioception. It means your body struggles to sense its own position. You're standing, but your brain doesn't quite know where your feet are planted. It's one of the top causes of unexpected falls in older adults. The kind of accidents that can change a life overnight. But here's the encouraging part. Walter's granddaughter, who was studying nursing, bought him a small bottle of the vitamin and started a new ritual with him each morning. Before breakfast, they'd do a balance routine together, simply lifting one foot while holding onto a chair, then switching to the other. Within 3 weeks, Walter was able to rise from his lawn chair with surprising steadiness. "It's like my legs are finally listening again," he told me with a wide smile. That's the power of reconnecting the body's internal signals. Your nerves sharpen, your muscles react faster, and that newfound coordination turns everyday moments, like stepping into the shower or walking down the porch steps, into calm, confident experiences rather than risks. If you're wondering what you can do right now, here's something small that might help. Before breakfast, try standing near a sturdy table or wall. Lift one leg and hold it for a few seconds. Then switch sides. That tiny act helps retrain your body's balance system, and when paired with the right nutrition, it can build a quiet strength inside you, one that protects without being loud, one that says, "I've got you," even when no one else is around. Because here's the truth, every step you take, whether to the mailbox or the garden, is a testament to your independence. And keeping that independence doesn't require anything flashy. It might just need a little bit of light stretching, some sunshine, and a vitamin no bigger than a grain of rice. There are some mornings when, even after a full night's sleep, you wake up feeling as if someone placed a heavy blanket across your whole body. Your legs refuse to move, not out of pain, but from a kind of deep weariness. You sit on the edge of the bed, staring at the hallway, wondering how you'll make it to the front door. That's not laziness. That's not age catching up. It's a real and physical exhaustion. And you're not alone in feeling it. Many older adults across the country describe this very sensation. Not soreness, not illness, just a strange heaviness that settles in the limbs each morning. It can be confusing, even disheartening. But in many cases, the cause lies not in your joints or muscles, but in something even smaller, the way your cells produce energy. You see, every part of your body runs on a microscopic power system, and that system depends on one essential vitamin. This vitamin doesn't just help your bones or balance. It's also a critical piece of how your cells make energy, the kind of clean, steady energy that helps you get dressed, prepare breakfast, or walk around the block. When you're missing this fuel, it's like trying to run your stove with no gas in the tank. The effort feels 10 times harder, and you end up doing less. Not because you're unwilling, but because your body simply can't. Let me share the story of Lillian, a 78-year-old from Fresno, California. She told me that her legs felt like concrete every morning, heavy and cold. Her granddaughter, who worked at a pharmacy, suggested she start a basic vitamin regimen alongside her usual breakfast of toast and oatmeal. 2 weeks later, Lillian left me a voicemail, her voice practically dancing. "I woke up today and didn't wait on the edge of the bed," she said. "I just stood up and walked. No questions, no delay." That's not a miracle. That's biochemistry working properly. Her cells, for the first time in years, had the fuel they needed. They turned food into energy, and her body finally responded. If you've ever felt that same heaviness in your legs after waking up, if walking feels harder than it should, even after sleeping well, this could be your body's way of saying, "I need help to restart." So if you plan to try this vitamin, take it in the morning, ideally right after breakfast. A slice of toast with egg, a bowl of cereal, or your usual morning meal is perfect. When taken at the right time, many seniors report feeling more alert, more able to move, and surprisingly light on their feet just a few hours later. It's not magic, it's your body doing what it was always meant to do, with just a little help. After the age of 70, the greatest worry for many seniors isn't always the fine lines on their face or the thinning of their hair. It's something far quieter and far more dangerous. The fear of falling. Because as many know, a simple slip can change everything. One moment you're walking from your bedroom to the patio, and the next you're in the hospital, facing surgery, rehabilitation, and months of depending on others for help with even the smallest tasks. I remember Helen, an 81-year-old from Lexington, Kentucky. She loved tending to her backyard herb garden each morning. But one day, while bending to pick a few sprigs of mint, she lost her balance and stumbled over a garden hose. That one misstep led to a fractured hip and nearly 2 weeks in a hospital bed. From someone who once walked to the local co-op on her own, she suddenly found herself needing assistance just to reach the bathroom. It wasn't just painful, it was devastating to her sense of independence. Most people think of broken bones as just bad luck. But what often goes unnoticed is how preventable some of these accidents can be if our bones are kept strong from within. Yes, calcium is essential. It gives bones their firmness. But that's only part of the story. Without the proper helper, calcium can't find its way to the right places. That helper is the very vitamin we've been talking about. Think of it like the builder who makes sure every brick, or in this case calcium, is placed exactly where it needs to be. You see, as we age, we naturally lose some bone density. That's normal. But when too much is lost, bones become fragile, like dried twigs that can snap from even a light bump. That's why this vitamin plays such a crucial role. It acts like a traffic director, making sure calcium stays in your bones and doesn't wander into your joints or blood vessels where it can cause harm. Recent studies from respected U.S. medical centers have found that seniors over 70 who consistently take this vitamin can reduce their risk of hip fractures by as much as Now that may not sound like a huge number, but when you're talking about staying out of a wheelchair or avoiding surgery, 20% becomes life-changing. It's the difference between continuing to live in your own home or having to depend on assisted care. This vitamin isn't a miracle cure, but paired with small daily actions like walking a few laps around the house after breakfast, or practicing gentle stretches in the living room, it becomes part of a powerful daily rhythm. I remember Helen telling me after her recovery that every morning she now does 10 slow heel raises by the kitchen counter. "It's my promise to my body," she said, "that I won't take it for granted again." And that's what makes the biggest difference. Small, loving promises to yourself. A warm cup of tea, a gentle stretch, a walk to the window, and a tiny vitamin taken at the same time each day. These become your daily gifts to your bones, reminders that they still matter, that they are still needed. So, if you've noticed more bruises from light bumps or felt a sharp ache from a small stumble, your body may be asking you to support it differently now. And that starts from the inside out with steady care and this quiet but essential nutrient. By now you might be wondering, how do I get this vitamin? Is it hidden in fancy pills or special foods only available online? Do I need to spend hundreds of dollars or visit distant hospitals just to get it? Thankfully, the answer is no. This vitamin is right here within reach in the foods you already know and the sunlight you see every morning. Your body can receive this vitamin in two ways: from the outside through sunshine and food, and from the inside through gentle supplementation. For instance, it's naturally found in egg yolks, oily fish like sardines or mackerel, and even in fortified dairy products. Some varieties of mushrooms, when dried in the sun, also carry a rich amount. A few servings of these each week can go a long way. But food isn't the only source. Your skin has an amazing ability to make this vitamin on its own, with just 15 to 20 minutes of morning sunlight. So if you sit on your porch or stand near a sunny window with your arms or face exposed, your body quietly goes to work, building exactly what it needs. No effort required, just your presence in the light. However, as we get older, this process slows down. Our skin becomes less efficient at making the vitamin. That's when a small supplement becomes helpful, especially during colder months or cloudy days in places like Seattle or Cleveland. A single soft gel capsule can cost less than a cup of coffee and is often enough to meet your daily needs. Most doctors recommend between 800 to 2,000 IU daily, depending on your current levels and overall health. But as always, before starting anything new, especially if you're on medications, speak with a trusted physician. They can run a quick test to see where you stand and guide you on the right dose for your body. And when shopping, don't worry about fancy packaging or flashy labels. What matters most is quality, simplicity, and absorption. Soft gels and liquid capsules often work best, especially those with clear certifications. Because this isn't about trends. It's about giving your body the quiet support it deserves every day. By now, you've heard how powerful this tiny vitamin can be, how it strengthens your legs, soothes your joints, sharpens your balance, and fuels your body with steady energy. But like everything in life, even something good can cause harm if used without care. Just as too much salt can spoil a perfectly cooked stew, this vitamin must be taken in the right amount and at the right time to be truly helpful. Let me tell you about Raymond, a retired high school principal from Dayton, Ohio. He was excited to try the supplement after watching a video similar to this one. But instead of checking with his doctor first, he began taking a high dose every morning, thinking it would work faster. A few weeks later, he began feeling nauseous and more tired than usual. At first, he thought it was the flu, but when his doctor ran a few tests, they found that his vitamin levels were too high, interfering with how his body handled calcium, and it was putting stress on his kidneys. That's why the very first step before starting any supplement, especially if you're over 70, should be a simple blood test. It's quick, inexpensive, and helps your doctor know if your body is low on this vitamin or already getting enough from food and sunlight. This isn't about guessing, it's about knowing. Some people, especially those who get a bit of sun each day and eat eggs or fish regularly, may not need much at all. Others might need a little more. And for those already taking medications, especially for blood pressure, inflammation, or arthritis, this becomes even more important. Drugs like diuretics or corticosteroids can change how your body uses this vitamin. Taking both without medical advice could lead to dizziness, upset stomach, or even unusual thirst and frequent urination. It's not common, but it can happen, and it's easily preventable. Even in milder cases, using high doses of supplements over long periods can sometimes cause a loss of appetite, mild stomach pain, or in rare situations, affect your heartbeat or kidney health. Again, these aren't reasons to be afraid. They're simply reminders that our bodies are delicate and even helpful things need to be handled with understanding and wisdom. Think of this vitamin like seasoning. A pinch brings out the best, but a heavy hand? That changes everything. So please, if you're thinking about trying it, speak to your doctor first, especially if you're already managing other conditions. Your health is not a puzzle to solve alone. It's a partnership between you, your body, and the guidance of a caring professional. And once you've found the right dose, let the vitamin do its quiet work. It won't shout, It won't give you sudden bursts of energy like a sugar rush, but over time, you'll begin to notice your legs move more freely. You wake up with less stiffness, and your confidence in walking grows stronger. That's the magic of gentle consistency. That's the power of doing something small each day, something wise and thoughtful. You and I have now walked a long road together, a journey built around one simple idea, that a tiny vitamin taken with care can shape the strength, balance, and energy of your later years. And it doesn't require turning your whole life upside down. You don't need to join a gym, follow a complicated diet, or spend a fortune on imported medicine. It begins with the smallest decisions: having an egg with your toast, sitting on the porch for 10 minutes of morning light, taking one soft gel with your breakfast, moving your ankles gently before bed. These aren't chores, they're invitations. They say to your body, I see, I still believe in your strength. And what your body does in return is nothing short of beautiful. It remembers, it responds. Slowly, silently, it begins to rebuild the muscle, refuel the cells, and protect the bones that carry you each day. That is the wisdom of aging. Not pushing harder, but learning how to support yourself better. So if you're over 70 and your legs have felt heavy, your steps unsure, or your mornings slower than they used to be, maybe now is the right time to try. Ask your doctor. Take a blood test. Start with one small habit. Let your health unfold again, not in grand gestures, but in quiet moments of care. And most of all, know this: you are not alone. Across the country, thousands of people your age are doing the same, starting small, noticing small changes, and regaining not just strength in their steps, but dignity in their days. By now, you've heard how this one small vitamin, taken with care and wisdom, can help you walk with more comfort, ease the pressure in your knees, support your energy in the morning, and protect your bones from weakening with age. But perhaps you're still wondering, how do I start? What exactly should I look for? Do I need to change everything I eat, or spend money on special products? The good news is, you don't need to go far or spend much. This vitamin lives quietly in the routines many of us already have, in simple foods and natural sunlight. Think about your usual breakfast. If it includes an egg a few times a week, some grilled fish like salmon or sardines, or even fortified milk poured into your oatmeal, you're already partway there. Goat liver or certain sun-dried mushrooms, though less common, are also rich in this nutrient. And then there's sunlight, the most natural, free source available. Just 15 to 20 minutes outdoors, with your sleeves rolled up and your face turned gently toward the sky, is often enough to let your body begin making what it needs. You don't need to sit long or expose yourself during harsh midday heat. Early morning or late afternoon is perfect. But as we age, our skin becomes slower to produce this vitamin on its own. That's why a simple supplement often becomes necessary. Thankfully, most forms of this vitamin are affordable and easy to take. A small bottle of soft gel capsules might cost less than your morning coffee. The typical daily dosage ranges from 800 to 2000 IU, which is about 20 to 50 micrograms. But remember, before you start anything new, especially if you're managing chronic conditions or already taking medications, check in with your doctor first. A quick blood test can determine exactly what your body needs. No guessing, no assumption. When you do go shopping, skip the fancy branding or complicated labels. What matters most is purity and proper absorption. Soft gels or liquid capsules are usually easier for the body to process, especially in older adults. And as always, quality matters more than price. Look for trusted certifications, not colorful promises on the bottle. Most importantly, don't expect sudden magic. This vitamin works more like a gentle gardener than a quick mechanic. It's like planting a seed and watering it daily. At first you may notice nothing, but over a few weeks, you'll feel something shift. A bit more bounce in your step, a little more ease in standing, a greater sense of readiness in the morning. These changes arrive slowly, but you don't need to transform your whole lifestyle. Start with one step. Add an egg to breakfast. Sit outside for 10 peaceful minutes. or simply take a soft gel alongside your regular medication. You'll be surprised how such tiny changes made consistently become strong threads in the fabric of your health. And now that you've followed along this far, let me ask you something. Where are you watching from today? Are you sitting by a window in Florida, on a cozy porch in Missouri, perhaps sharing this video with a spouse, a friend, or even your grown children? I'd love to hear from you. Just type the name of your city below. Or if today's message gave you a little hope, type the word peace. If you know someone, a sibling, a neighbor, a friend from your community center who might benefit from this gentle information, please take a moment to send them this video. You may not realize it, but you could be giving them a gift greater than advice. You might be giving them the strength to move again, to step outside, to walk freely with confidence. Thank you for staying with me through this journey. I'll be here again in the next video. And until then, I invite you to do just one thing. Take care of yourself, gently, kindly, and with steady trust in your body's ability to heal. And whatever happens, don't stop walking. Even slowly, even carefully, keep walking, my friend. Your best years are still unfolding with every step.